Good evening. This is Harshita from CSC department. In continuation with the course that we have started, that is getting started with Python, I'm going to deal with lists from today. List is one of the basic data structures in Python. And I'm going to continue the course until we deal with lists, tuples, sets, and dictionaries. These four are the basic data structures in Python. Before I call them by the name data structures, we all know what are data structures. They are used to store information efficiently and so that we could access the information faster and the memory space becomes less, right? So without getting late, let me get into the topic of today, that is lists. Let me share my screen of list. This is the course getting started with Python. Now, coming to list, the basic concept of list. What is a list actually? A list is a collection of items in a particular order. Actually, it's a collection of items or elements of any type, any data type. For example, it can be of a string, it can be of a number type, sorry, integer type, float type, boolean type, any type. Now let me show the syntactic representation of a list. In Python, we use square brackets to indicate a list, and in every individual element in the list are separated by commas. This is the manual, written example here. Now let me show you show it practically. I hope the Python file is visible. I think it's visible. Now let me create a list of L name. List can be of any name. L is equals to square brackets are used to represent a list. Now I'm going to give some data inside the list, maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I'm going to leave this list. Now I'm trying to print the list. When I try to print the list, every element of the list is printed. The entire list is printed. The entire list is printed. Sorry. The entire list is printed. Here you could see the output here. I'm able to. Sorry. Here, yeah. Now it's visible. See, this is the output. The entire list with including the square braces is printed when I try to print the list. Now let me take another example. Let me modify the list. A list can consist of any data type, so I'll give string now. String or character, anything is fine. Any name is fine. Any name is fine. Now, when I try to print this list, it also prints all the list, including braces, including the square braces. Now, let me show you the output of this list. I hope this is visible. So, whenever we try to print the entire list, including its square braces, gets printed. We get in the output. Now, let me go back to my presentation and tell you the another slide. One of the best features that we have in a list is indexing. Indexing, what does indexing do? See, indexing is a method of accessing elements. Where it can be of any type, list, sets, anything. Indexing helps us to access the elements. Especially a point to be remembered is lists are ordered collections. So there is an order in the list. Okay. Now you can access any element of the list by telling its position of the list or index. We call that index specifically, or position. You can call it by either of the names, but we use index of the item desired. See, if you want to, now let me go with, see, I'll remove this list. I'll give numbers for better understanding so that you don't have any confusion. 40, 50. Now this is the list. Now indexing starts. This is the most important point. Indexing in a list starts from 0. 0. 0 to first element, 1 to second element, 3 to third element, 2 to third elements, and so on. Now when I try the syntax of for accessing or for indexing is list name. Now let me put it in a comment thing. List sorry. List name, any list name that you want, and braces, square braces of what index? Index or position that you want to specify. You want first position element or second position element, like that you have to specify it. All right, now I'll try to print. So I'll print list of 2. Second element, I'm going to print the second index of the. Now when I try to print this, displays, I'll paste it here. It displays 30, which is, I mean, what we think, what is the element in the second position is 20, right? Manually, how do we count elements from 1? We count elements from 1. So we take the second element as 20, but the output is 30. Just because the indexing of a list starts from 0, the second element goes to 30. I mean, the second index is for 30. Now, when I try to print 0th index element, it prints 10. All right, the first index is always 0. The first element's index is always 0. So L of 0 is 10. Now, we have another feature of Python. So the function of Python for finding the length of the list in Python. That is print. We have this function, built-in function of length of what list. The syntax is. I mean, you can go with. I'll write it here first. To find the length. To find the length. The syntax. What is the syntax? List name. Sorry. LEN, length of what list you want. Whatever list name you give, that works. That works fine. LEN of list name. Now when I try, when I need the length of this list, print the length of this present list, print LEN of what is the list name? L. So when I try to print this, the length of the list is 5. Right? The length of the list is 5. See, it is a function. When elements are, I mean, you can't count the elements. See, this simple 5 you can count, 10 you can count, 100 you can count, but you can't count 1 lakhs or 2 lakhs elements in the list manually. So we use this function very easily. I mean, you can use this function and get the number of items in the list simply. So length of the list is 5. Now, how to find the indexing of the number? Now you want an index. There's a concept called, Now you don't know whether indexing you're confused between index that it starts from 0 or 1. Now what should a programmer do is, you should print length L of what index you don't know, but when you counted manually the 30th index, I mean the element 30th index is 3 according to you, as you start from 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, right? 3. Manual calculation of the index minus 1 gives you the element 30, right? If you manually you calculate some number, say 10. So as human beings, we all start counting from 1. 1 goes for 10, 2 goes for 20, 3 goes for 30, 4 goes for 40, and 5 goes for 50, right? So what is the count of, what is the index for 30 manually? That is 3. Now to get the exact position, to get 30, we should subtract 1 from the manual index, so that you could get 30. You got 30. So your output is correct. I'll increase the console size. I hope now it's visible. Okay. Now getting to the next concept. I hope the PPT is visible. Now this is the point that we discussed before. To see, you can use simple counting system. See, if you don't know, if you're confused between 0 and 1, use simple counting system of how we use 1 for counting. Count from 1. You can get any element you want from a list by subtracting 1 from its position that we discussed. I hope you have understood. Now coming to the next concept. Now Python has a special syntax for accessing the element in the list. Now, I forgot to tell you the reverse indexing of a list in Python. See, indexing starts from 0. That you have come across now. Now, indexing starts from -1, also from the last. See, from the end, it goes from minus. So that 50 takes -1th position, 40 takes -2th position, 30 takes -3, 20 takes -4, and 10 takes -5. Now when I try to print L of -1, I think it prints, I'm sure it prints 50. Yeah, it prints 50. So Python has this special feature of reverse indexing also, 50. So I hope you understand. See, -1 is 50. Reversely, it starts from -1. From the start, from starting, it starts from 0. From the end, from the end, it starts from -1. See, L of -1 is 50. Now, when I print L of -3, let's see what it prints. It is 30. See, -1 is 50, -2 is 40, -3 is 30. It is correct. Now let me paste the output here. Yeah. 30. I hope you understand the indexing and reverse indexing in Python. Now let me share my presentation again. I hope that's clear. Now coming to the methods in a list. You have many methods in a list. So especially, I forgot to tell you this point at the beginning, that is lists are mutable. Mutable means it is changeable. You can change the entire list, like add elements into a list, delete elements into a list, remove them, append them. You have many methods like this. Now coming to the first method of a list, you can modify the elements in a list. First method is modify the elements in a list. Now you have this. I'll remove everything. Now this is the list. Now this is a list. You have let me give another name. Okay. are my faculty names. Uh, it's okay. 3 teachers' name. Okay, let me give another name. I am not getting. Now this is the list you have. Sorry for the disturbance. This is the list you have. Now you have to, modify each element. You can modify any element. Now I have to modify the third element in the list, that is L of, what is the third element? You have to modify this name. See, maybe your faculty is changed, you have to modify. See, you have a database of list, database, and you have to modify wherever this name is there. Wherever this Subhash name is there, as he has resigned, you have to modify now. Now, how can we do it? Simply, if we have, if the database is a list, you can do it like this. L of Subhash, maybe you have is equals to maybe Vivekananda. Now let me execute, let me print L. If I have any error, I'll modify it. Okay. Let me stay. Okay. List, indexing. As indexing is there in list, you can't give strings in the place of the integers, that is index integers. What is the call? See, Farooq is 0. Index of Farooq is 0. Basha is 1. Subhash is 2. So list of 2. What is this? List of 2. The second element, the index of the second element must be changed to Vivekananda. Now print L. Now it's correct, right? Subhash is replaced with Vivekananda. I hope you understood how to modify. See, what you have to learn is there is no, you can't give a string in the place of an index in list. Okay, L of 2 is equals to Vivekananda. That you have to see that like this you can modify. Now let me go to another thing. Okay, now coming to adding of elements into a list. You can add elements into a list very easily, however you want. Now let me clear this. Now, okay, sorry. This is the list you have. Now you have to add one more element into the list. So you can use L dot append of maybe Kamaleshwari. You have to append this element while appending. Now I'm going to print the list again. Yeah. Now Kamaleshwari is added into the list at the last index, right? See, append by default it takes, append takes the element into the last, not into the first. Now we have, so why only last? You have another method to insert element wherever you want. I hope you have understood append. Now you have another function called insert. The syntax goes wherever you want. See, if you want Kamaleshwari after 0th index or first index, I'll put it after second. I mean, I want it at the second index. I wanted to add, what is this name? Kamaleshwari. Sorry. Kamaleshwari. Now this is a string, right? So we have to give it into in the sorry. Double quotes is also fine, no problem. Now let me print the list. Yeah. Now Kamaleshwari is added at the desired position that you wanted her. I mean, you wanted that element in the second position, so you have added this. Now. The simpler method, simple append is the simplest method. Now you have insert also. See, insert method has more applications. See, you can add wherever you want. Append is append is taking to you at the end, but if you want to add at the desired position, you can go for insert. Let me discuss the syntax again. Append goes like, insert goes like, syntax of insert I'm giving. Syntax of insert in list goes like, list name, any name that you want, dot insert list name dot insert of index, whatever index, desired index. Let me put it as desired index, comma, element you wanted, element, whatever element you wanted to add, you can give that. Now this is the syntax of insert. This is very, we can use this wherever you want. This is very much useful. Now we have done with adding elements into a list, inserting elements wherever we want. Now coming to the remove function. Remove function in list. Removing elements in a list. You can delete an element from a list where from the desired position, from whatever you want, you can delete. That has its flexibility. Now you want to now let me change the list. Now let me change the list to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now you wanted to change the list. Sorry, you wanted to delete one element from the list. You can delete. See, you wanted to delete till, this is a keyword, right? You have to use this. L of, you wanted to delete 10. What is the index of 10 is L of 0, right? Now print L. If we delete this, now let's see what's the, see the output is 20, 30, 40, 50, right? See now what is deleted? 10 is deleted. Whatever you, whatever you wanted it to be deleted, it is deleted. Let me paste the output. Now this is the output. I hope you understood. What did you delete? You deleted the element at the 0th index. What is the element at the 0th index? 10. So 10 is deleted. Now the remaining list is printed. This is delete del function, that is delete. You can delete whatever items you want. Now coming to the next function. I hope you understood delete. Now removing item using pop method. Pop. I hope you you have heard this name pop. Pop deletes the element L dot pop. By default, it deletes the last element. The element at the last of the list. At the ending of the list. Now let me print this. Yeah. It is deleting 50 as it is at the end of the list. Let me paste the output here. 10, 20, 30, 40 is there. Now 50 is deleted, 10, 20, 30, 40 is printed, right? So this is how you can use pop function. It has another face also. Now pop by default it deletes the last element. Now if you want to delete second element, now it deletes, I think. Now yeah, it is deleting the second element. What is the second element? It is 30. Yeah, 30 is deleted and the remaining list is printed. I think you have shown with pop and remove del methods. Now see, here are some things. The term pop comes from thinking of a list as a stack of items and popping one item out of the top of the stack. See, stack follows last in first out, right? Whatever goes at the last comes out the first, right? So we use, I mean, to implement stacks in Python, one of the method you can use lists also. So pop method is used. In analogy, top of the stack corresponds to the end of the list. What? Yeah, right. I hope you understood. Yeah, to print elements what are popped. Now let me show you one more example. Now you want to print this element, right? Store this in a variable. You can print. Yeah. What is being deleted? You see what you to just for your understanding to see what is deleted exactly and what is printing exactly. So L dot pop of 2, what is this element at the second index is 30, 30 is deleted. Now 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 40, 50 is printed, removing 30. Okay. I hope you understood. Now coming to the popping items. Okay, this is I have already discussed. Popping by default it takes the, it removes the end element. Otherwise you can give your desired index also whatever you want. Now there is a remove keyword also. Remove also you can use if you want to delete, if you know the value of the item, like delete, you can delete. Let me show you. Delete function is used when you know the index of that element. Whatever element you wanted to delete, if you know the index of that element, you can use delete function. If you don't know the index of that element and if you know the value of that element, you don't know. See, there are almost 60 elements here, maybe 90. There are almost, you can't count all the elements here. Now these are the elements. You can't count. Think the list is even bigger, even more bigger. You just know what is the element. You wanted to delete 50 from the list. Now L dot remove of, if you print 50, sorry, you wanted to remove 50, right? Now print 50. Now print L. Now L. See 50. The first encounter, this list consists of duplicate values. If you have duplicate values, what is removed is the element at the first, first encountered 50 is deleted. Okay, when we use remove function. Now let me show you. Yeah, now 50 is deleted. It's printing 10, 20, 30, 40, 60. Now 50 is deleted. I hope you understood the differences between del and remove methods. See, if you know the index of the element to be removed, deleted, you can use del function, or you know the value of the element to be removed, you can use remove function. Now let me go with Now this is an interesting concept. Sorting. Sorting a list, sorting. What is sorting? It is, you put the elements in the order. Ascending or descending order is called sorting. When it is alphabets, you get to know the ASCII codes. Whatever ASCII code is there, it is based on the ASCII code. If it is numbers, it is based on their value. Now we'll use both functions, sort and sorting. This needs a new thing. Now let's take a list. First we'll take strings. Okay. Now let me. Okay, enough. Okay. Why going wrong? I have this. Sorting. Now sort, we have to sort this. L dot sort is the syntax. Now print L. See, it is sorted based on the first position, right? B takes the first position, like the alphabetical order A, B, C. B comes first, so B. Then D comes, so Dhoni. Then F comes, A, B, C, D, E, F. F comes, so Farooq. So then S comes at the last. In the middle after F. So Subhash there. Now sort. Now we'll use sorted function. We use sorted. Sorted of N. Now we'll print this. See. Now when we used sort function, we got the output, like in the alphabetical order we have got the sorted thing. But when we use sorted function and when I try to print the original list, it is not being sorted. Now we should think this, we should understand this point, the difference between sort and sorted function. That is sort, it manipulates, it changes the original list, whereas sorted function doesn't make any changes to the original list. It maintains this list, same. It doesn't change its form. Now let me print sorted of L. Now when I print this, now this is the output, right? B comes first, D, then F, then S. Okay. Now I hope you have understood the difference between sort and sorted. Sorted function takes, it doesn't change the origin, changes the original list. Now you can, I hope you have understood the differences between sort and sorted function. Sorting a list, temporarily, if you want a list to be sorted temporarily in the function, you can use sort. In the program you can use sorted, or if you want it to be a permanent change, you can use what do you call? You can use sort function. Okay. Now you want it reverse. You don't want it in ascending order. You want it in descending order. So what do you do is reverse equals to 2. Just you put 1, and the sorting is based on reverse. Now if this is ascending order, then that is descending order. Okay. If you have this, see B comes first, D, F. See B, D, F, S. Now S, F, D, B. Okay. This is sorting based on reverse. I'm hoping that you understood. Then I'm continuing with the next concept. Sorted function is fine. Now printing a list in reverse order. You have this wonderful function. If you want to print the list in reverse order, you can do this. Now this is my list. Now print L dot reverse. It doesn't change the original function, it just prints the function. Sorry. I'm sorry to give the wrong information. L dot reverse changes, I mean, it modifies the original list. Yes, it modifies the original list. Whatever you have given, it gives you, I'm sorry. This gives you the reverse of the list, okay? And I have learned a new point. Now, finding the length of the list. I have told you at the beginning only, you can use len function to find the length of the list. You can easily find the length of any number of items. I mean, you can find the length of any list. Now you have a list. You have to take care, like you have to change each and every. Now I'll tell you a program. Now your list is 10, 20, 30, 40. Now this is your list. Now you have to add 5 to each element of this list, so that you can use loops for this. For loops. I know you have come across in Ashifa's lecture what is a for loop and what is a while loop, I think. Now coming to the loops in Python, for you can take like this. I know this syntax is, I mean, is a bit common. For I in range of 0, comma, as indexing starts from 0, what is the, I mean, at what position? At length of the L, right? Colon is compulsory, otherwise it is a syntactical error. Now 0 to length, I mean, you might be knowing that it goes up to 0 to up to length of L minus 1. This is the, it goes from 0 to, if length of L is 5, it goes up to 4. It goes 1 before the element at the end push. Whatever you give at the range, the end value is minus 1. The for loop takes up to minus 1. End value minus 1. Now this is the list. Now L of I. For every element, you have to add L of I. Now I'll explain. L of n plus 5. Now I'll print list. Hope you are getting the syntax. See, now for I in range of 0. Now let's take loop concept. Now I equals to 0 now. At the first iteration, I equals to 0. L of 0 is 10. 10, what is the element? That first element is equals to that element plus 5. Now if I try to print this, I think I will get the output. Yeah, correct. 1 second. Yeah, you got the output. For each and every element in the list, it is printing plus 5. You can use loop like this. I hope you understand. For every iteration, I value keeps on increasing, and for every I value, for every I in the list, it gets added with 5. Now next, coming to the next thing. You can make a numerical list also. I hope you need not... I hope you have understood the concept here. Now you want a list. You don't know the list. You gave this list, that's all. You are given an empty list with square braces. Now you want the list from in the given range of numbers. You want the list from 1 to whatever you want. You need up to 9 or 10. If you need up to 10, then you should give 11 at the ending range. Now L dot append. Right? Now when I try to print the list, append goes at the last. Whatever you try to append, it goes at the end of the list. So now when I try to print the list, yes, it is printing numbers from 1 to 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can have any. This is a numerical list. Okay. Now coming to the range function. I forgot to tell you the best point. You can create an empty list using list keyword. I mean, you have this. You can, like this also, you can create. I hope the screen is visible. List keyword. You can use this and create an empty list also. Okay. Now, if you want a list, now this is the syntax here. List of, now range. You want all the even numbers. Even numbers start from 2. You want the numbers from 2 to 20 whose step size is 2. Whatever, I mean, it leaves one value in the middle and goes. Now 2 to 4. Now when I try to print L, output is, yeah, it's printing all the even numbers from 2 to 20. I mean 20, it excludes 20. This is the output. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 18. If you want 20 also, you can give range as 22. That's all. Now it's printing 20 also. Okay. Like this, you can create lists very easily. Now you want all the squares. You don't know, your friend is struggling to find to learn the squares, and she didn't find the written material to find the squares. Now you can use this list. Now for I in range of 1 to, she needs up to 20. She needs up to 20, so 21 is the step size. Now L dot append of I now when I try to print L, it prints all the squares from, yes. I hope you could see this, otherwise. I'm trying to paste it, the output here. Yeah, this is printing 1 ka square 1, 2 ka square 4, 3, 9, 4, 16, 5, 25, 6, 36 and so on. Okay, up to 20. This is a simple program, you can go with it. Okay. Now simple statistics in list. You can find the minimum, maximum or sum of the list. Now there is a simple program. Now you have a list. Have list of numbers 40, 29, 59, 41, 87. Print minimum of list. This prints the minimum of the list. 10 is printed as 10 is the minimum of the list. Now if we try to print the maximum of the list, print maximum of L. 87 is printed. Now try to find the sum of the list, sum of the entire list. You need not to go with n iterations. That is, you need not to take a for loop. You can just go with sum of So you can go with the sum. Now shall I execute? I'll execute this. 265. See minimum. Now I'm trying to print the output here. Minimum of the list is 10, maximum is 87. The sum of the list is any number of items in the list, it prints direct sum of the list. You need not bother, you need not take n iterations. Now, very beautiful concept of the list is list comprehension. See, in just one line of code, you can generate a list. Likewise, you did it in, you did before, right? What did, you found the even numbers from 2 to 22 in just one line. Likewise, you can do it. List comprehension. Now let me take squares. Here the code. You want squares from before you used for loop. I mean, you followed the syntax of the for loop. This is the beauty of list comprehension, so that you could give one line code and you can access list comprehension. See, now it's printing squares of all numbers from 1 to 10. This is the output 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, 36. I hope you have understood list comprehension. Same list, just they have found, I mean, one line code, just that's all. Before we were giving for loop, inside that we were giving condition. Now directly we are giving, I mean directly in the line.